Tornado warning for Yankton County, including the city of Yankton. Here you are looking live from Lewis and Clark Marina to the north. You're looking into the storm, which has been showing some signs of a rotation, hence the tornado warning that is now in effect in Yankton County. That's what it looks like there right now. We do have on KELOLAND Live Doppler, we do have an area of thunderstorms, which has been producing some large hail. We're watching. This is where the hail is, by the way, the northern part of Yankton County, the purple color. It has produced some large hail in Lesterville and Dante a bit earlier. Here's Yankton right now. Here's what you're just looking at right there. This area up toward Napa Junction. Yankton to Napa Junction up toward Utica, which is where we saw the original spin. And you're looking kind of for that little indentation right there, that little pendant. That is the potential tornadic part of that storm. The purple, that is probably some big hail going on right there. To ping pong ball size is the possibility. But we do have that tornado warning, which is in effect for the Yankton area. Once again, here's what it looks like looking to the north from Yankton. That's what it looks like right now on our live cam. We don't have confirmation on the ground, but certainly we are getting a fair bit of circulation picked up on radar. The original location was Utica, which is 7 miles northwest of Yankton, moving southeast. But here is that storm as it moves into Yankton right now. This area right here. That is mostly what we call scud right in that picture right there. But we're looking for signs of rotation in it. We're just kind of eyeballing it just the same way you're looking at it right now. But it is moving just on the north side of Yankton right now. Again, the tornado warning is in effect for Yankton itself. Here's what, let me get, well, that's what it looks like out toward Pier. Here's what it looks like in Yankton. I'm going to slide into KELOLAND Live Doppler so I can show you the location on radar. And it is right here. Again, from Yankton, you're looking just to the north, right into that storm right there. We see those pendants. That's where we're seeing that little bit of a swirl going on right now. And I would ask Adam, if you are you able to pull up give us the Doppler velocities there at all?
I've got that on the other unit right now.
Let me pop that up here on my screen as well so we can see that because there was a little bit of spin detected out of it. And here's what it looks like right now. Okay, if we do have some kind of circulation, it's going to be to the northwest of Yankton. I make that out about 4 miles. That's what it looks like right now on KELOLAND Live Doppler. He's looking at the winds. That's not your typical radar view. He's looking at the winds inside of the clouds.
That's around 4 to 5 miles northwest.
Okay, so just northwest of the Yankton area right now. Let's go back and take a look at that thing on our live cam. This is it right there. Just north of the Yankton area at the present time, moving in from the northwest right now. And you're seeing it just, that's Lewis and Clark Marina, our live cam there, looking just north of Yankton at the present time. You can see the thunderstorm, which is coming on in. So take cover, especially if you're kind of on the northwest side of Yankton. That storm is coming in from the northwest right now. That's what it looks like on looking at it visibly from our live cam at the arena. Adam, do you have some information for us there?
Now, in terms of that particular storm itself, it's holding steady with radar indicated rotation. There has been no confirmation, but just for what it's worth, east of the storm, this whole that we're watching, to the east of that, toward Viborg, Centerville, Vermilion, Beersford, the I-29 corridor from basically Worthing to Beersford. Due severe thunderstorm warning did just get posted. That's until 7:30 p.m. So it's going to be for portions of Clay, Lincoln, and Turner counties. For that entire cluster that is continuing to move on over, this will be to the east by southeast. It's still looking at least quarter-sized tail from this particular cell and from this line for that matter. This is moving to the east at 20 miles per hour. So again, Viborg, Davis, Centerville, Vermilion, Beersford, even Worthing, just a little bit to the south of Worthing. That's for the severe thunderstorm warning that just came up and that is just coming on your screen right now with the particular loop. But in terms of the tornado warning, though, that is still remaining in place. That is for southern Yankton County, with radar indicated rotation. Again, that is continuing to move on down to the south east at 15 miles per hour. So that's just still a couple miles north of Yankton proper.
All right, I want to take a look again up to our live cam there at Yankton, and I'm going to kind of pan that across to see what we're looking at. Again, this is a tornado-warned storm. It is just north of the Yankton area itself. City of Yankton is under a tornado warning as a result of this storm, which has come in. It does have a history of producing some large hail in excess of, well, it's 1 to 2 inch size hail is what we've been seeing in the northern part of Yankton County. This is a live view of that storm as it comes on into the city right now. And this is the area we're watching at the present time. It has been showing some signs of rotation, as Adam has said. And so we're just kind of watching this thing right now as it moves on in from the northwest. Again, that's a live cam from Lewis and Clark Marina, looking at the Yankton area to the north. Let me take another look at take a look at the KELOLAND live Doppler. The whole storm moving kind of in a southeasterly direction. So let me get this for you to orient yourself. Here's Yankton right here. Here's what has been the tornadic part of the storm right here. It's moving in a southeasterly direction headed toward the Yankton area. This up here, that's going to be your hail, and big hail at that. And that's why there has been an extension of that severe thunderstorm warning to the east into Clay County and the Vermilion area, also up toward the Beersford area right now. Those yellow boxes are where we do have the severe thunderstorm warning. Adam, something new over there?
Just a little bit earlier from this same system that it was moving through the Canastota Freeman area. This also has a history of producing some pretty gusty winds near the Freeman area, about 5 miles south of Freeman. They did have a report of a 71-mile-per-hour gust with this cluster of thunderstorms as it moved through, again, the Canastota, Freeman, Menno area. So on top of that, a hail potential, we do have some pretty gusty winds that are reaching down toward ground level as well.
Yeah, I'm just looking at your velocity data there. You want to query that area, the bright red there north of Yankton. That looks like some pretty strong winds right now.
77-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, so that's the radar indication from radar. At the cloud level, we have 77-mile-an-hour winds right now, the northern part of Yankton County. That means at cloud level. That doesn't mean it's necessarily that strong at the bottom, though. You said we had a gust of what, 70 miles an hour?
71.
71 miles an hour or so. That's where the strong winds are. And in fact, can you zoom in and show us exactly where that is? It's north of Yankton. I kind of think it's kind of up toward, well, let's see here. All right. So northwest of Mission Hill.
Yep.
Kind of
right along Highway 81.
Okay, right along Highway 81, again, north of Yankton.
Yes.
Yankton area itself, okay.
About 6 miles north of Yankton.
6 miles north of Yankton. All right, that's the winds. We're looking at the winds inside of the storm. Now I'm going to go back and look at the more normal view, if you will, of the radar. Again, this is a tornado-warned cell. It has produced some signs of rotation, if you will, and with those signs of rotation, potential for tornadic activity. So 75 miles an hour is now the latest one.
Yeah.
All right, KELOLAND live Doppler. I'm going to go back down to the south. The red box, including Yankton, that is your tornado-warned cell. Hail almost certainly in north-central portions of Yankton County at the present time. So that's what's going on there. And we do have, let's go back to our live camera and see what we can see from there as well. All right, Yankton County up to the north. And that is a storm we're looking at. I'm not seeing anything, just eyeballing it right now as far as tornadoes concerned, but we do know we have some very strong winds in there, at least in the northern part of the city. These are some broken clouds, kind of what we call scud clouds. They look more dangerous than they actually are, but I'm kind of looking at some of these other areas, see if I can see anything, any kind of a circulation on camera. Right now, I'm not seeing anything. Again, you are looking at from Lewis and Clark Marina to the north. That is where the suspected tornado was. Circulation detected a few minutes ago up near the Utica area. Yankton County, you are under a tornado warning that is posted for your area. That is in effect for the next several minutes, and it is for what was detected as a circulation circulation. The northern part of Yankton County a bit earlier near Utica, spin was seen, and we've been watching the storm here up to the north, the northern part of Yankton County, where we also have some large hail, which has already been detected there. The Dante area had some 2-inch size hail. We had some golf ball size hail in Lesterville, which is kind of north of Yankton as well. And now the tornado threat is there as well. Let's go back to KELOLAND Live Doppler, and you'll be able to see the area that we're talking about. It is, well, from Yankton up to the north, and I'll pop it up right here on the radar, and this is it right there. The line of thunderstorms, or I should say that one thunderstorm, just dropped down from the northwest, and that's why we do have the tornado warning for the area. The box that you see there, that is where we do have the area of concern. Also, it looks like we almost certainly have very large hail going on northwest of Valley View, the northern part of that severe thunderstorm that is also producing the potential tornado down around the Yankton area. Areas northwest of Yankton, in the northern part of Yankton County at the present time. The yellow boxes, that's an extension of the thunderstorm warnings. That's because the whole thing is moving kind of in a southeasterly direction, and that trend is going to continue as well. I'll put it kind of into motion here. You'll be able to see those storms moving slowly to the east. So far, the tornadic part of that cell looks like it's hanging just up to the north. Areas north of the Yankton area right now, but that is where we did see the spin a bit earlier. We're not seeing the same signal as we did a bit earlier. It's not showing quite the same obvious the signature that we'd look for in a tornadic type storm. But you look at the where you see the purple colors on your screen, that's certainly where we do have some large hail that's going on right now. And also, as Adam was talking about, being able to see some very strong winds even on radar. And Adam, maybe you can take a look and see what you can see on velocities again. Do we still have that same signature that we were looking a bit earlier for the strong winds?
Yeah, this is just a hair east of Highway 81. We are still seeing upward of 75 to 80 mile per hour gusts. If there's a little query just off of the highway northwest of Mission Hill, we're getting that 76 mile per hour estimate on radar that is just kind of hanging in there. That was directly over Highway 81. This is still about 6 miles northeast of downtown Yankton, where we're getting those estimated winds of around 75 miles per hour as this continues to move on through. Now, a little bit earlier, we also had a little hail signature. We can move back a little bit. We can show you exactly what we're talking about there. So this area of white, again, along Highway 81, about 6 miles north of Yankton, had that little signature of hail coming in, and this has had a history of producing some rather damaging hail to the tune of golf ball size hail in portions of western and northwestern Yankton County. So again, this tornado warning still out to continue for the next about 6 or so minutes. This will be until 6:45. We'll see if they continue to extend this or not, but for what it's worth, as we continue to kind of cycle through some more of these scans on velocity, we haven't really been seeing much of a couplet like we did about 15 or so minutes ago, just over that Utica area, which is the reason why this warning was even put in the first place in the southern Yankton County area. But still, out of an abundance of caution, and they are leaving this in place. Even if there is not a tornado on the ground confirmed, we have been seeing those radar estimates of over 75 mile per hour gusts right at the core of that storm over Highway 81 as this moves southeast toward Mission Hill and then skirting just to the north and east of downtown Yankton.
All right, thank you, Adam. That's what's going on KELOLAND Live Doppler. We're watching this storm, as you've been seeing. Areas north of Yankton is where we have been seeing that spinning, that twisting of the winds, if you will, that's consistent with tornado production. That's where the tornado warning was issued, and it's been drifting in a southeasterly direction, kind of headed toward the Yankton area. Adam's looking at what we call the velocity. It's looking at the winds inside of the storm, and we see the bright red colors. That's where you see the strongest winds at cloud level, and quite often this translates to very strong winds down at the surface. As he said, right now it is just to the northwest of Mission Hill. Maybe you can pop that on full screen, be able to see where it is for those of you who know that area. It is just to the west of Mission Hill right now, and I'm zooming in on it, and that's what we call the velocity. That's so at least if we don't have a tornado, we also have very strong winds, and they've been over 60 miles an hour to around 70, and that's what's going on at the present time. Here's a look once once again at our Yankton live cam. Now the rain has started in Yankton itself, which means we're going to have a really hard time seeing anything going on in those clouds. But there's the rain right now, and it's pretty good winds as well. You can see that flag on that house off in the distance, and some pretty heavy rainfall coming down right at Lewis and Clark Marina. And you can see the winds blowing. If you look at the waves there in the canal right there. So we have strong winds in the Yankton area right now. Still under a tornado warning technically for another 4 minutes. We're not seeing quite the same signature as we were a bit earlier, but we do have, again, the very strong winds out of that cell, and it has been producing some very large hail as well. Over 2-inch hail up in the northern part of that county. You can see the purple on your screen. That is where the large hail is. It's kind of moving in a southerly direction, so it's kind of headed toward the Yankton area itself. So that's another threat in the same area where you have the tornado warning that's in effect for another 4 minutes. But you can see the bright purple colors there. That's where you're going to be seeing your hail. And right now, areas just the west of Mission Hill up toward Napa Junction, and of course the Yankton area itself now getting some rain, but the heavier rain has yet to reach the city. And the hail again is north of there, and we're just looking. We're not seeing the spin on radar like we were seeing before, but we are seeing very strong winds, and that's a very common thing. When you have big hail producers, a lot of times they drag down winds from cloud level, and so a lot of times the same cells that produce large hail also produce very strong winds. Because those winds are drawn down to the ground, they can't go into the ground, so they spread out, and what that does is produce very strong winds along with the areas that are producing some hail. And that's what we were just seeing a moment ago on the radar picture. I'm going to pop that back up for you so you can see the what it looks like live from the Yankton area. This is the winds are blowing right now, and that's what it looks like on at the Yankton live cam. And yeah, it's raining right now, so we have had some decent winds in there as well. Here's a look at the radar now in the Yankton. I'm just going to kind of back out so you can see that whole line of thunderstorms moving in an easterly direction. Adam, do you have an update on that tornado warning?
No, it looks like they are not going to update. I haven't seen any reports, confirmations, or otherwise. If anything, they're going to allow, at bare minimum, they're going to allow the severe thunderstorm warning for Yankton County. That's going to go until 6:45 p.m. But in terms of the tornado warning itself, we'll see if they expire that with the severe thunderstorm warning at the same time. They did not specify, at least in the verbiage here. They just talk about the severe thunderstorm warning that they have there. But also the airport in Yankton did just report a 58-mile-per-hour gust from its anemometer that's located there, and that would meet the low and severe threshold. But as we mentioned earlier, we did see that a 77-mile-per-hour gust estimated by radar about 6 miles north of Yankton itself. So some of this wind is mixing down, especially considering there is at least indications on radar of some form of a hail core around 5 or so miles north of downtown Yankton. And as Jay mentioned, that can kind of pull down some of its own pretty gusty wind and get some of that wind to mix down to the surface.
And at a minimum, we know that these tornadoes have, the thunderstorms, I should say, have produced winds of 71 miles an hour in Freeman. So I'll tell you what we'll do. The tornado warning has just been allowed to expire. Still, there are severe thunderstorms in the neighborhood. Watch the bottom of your screen for updates to any of the watches and warnings. If we see some more spin, if we see the storms produce some damaging signatures again, we'll jump back on the air. So for the moment, for Adam Rudd, I'm Jay Trobeck, the KELOLAND Live Doppler Storm Center. We'll send you back to your normal program.